What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the content in this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of this video for a quick message from our team. Let's get into the video. All right, Trey, let's get into our MLB picks and props for Tuesday, June 20th slate of games. Look at the leaderboard, Trey. Start us off.
Yes, I went 1-0 yesterday. I gave out the Chicago Cubs on the money line versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Cubs absolutely slobber knocked the Pirates this entire game. They ended up winning by a score of 8-0, so they shut out the Pirates at home. Pretty embarrassing for Pittsburgh, but it seems like their season is slowly going down the drain.
Yeah, Trey, went 0-1. I had the Royals on the money line against the Tigers, up 4-1. You want to take a guess how many games the Royals have blown this year? And that is from the seventh inning on. They've had at least a one-run lead from the seventh inning, from the first inning to the seventh inning. Take a guess how many games they've blown this year.
Well, they're tanking, so I'm going to guess like 20. I don't know. 20 is a lot. I'm going to guess like 16.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 25 because it's 25.
Dang.
25 games they have blown this year. And the announcer said that right before the three-run shot in the bottom of the seventh. So thank you for the announcer, Jinx. I don't know what I'm going to say later. I'm going to talk about it with the Jordan Lyles pick, but I've got some things to say. I'm just going to let the heart speak. But I did go 0-1. The Royals suck. They blew it. They lost 6-4. We're moving on to tonight, Trey. Let's start it off. You go first.
Yeah, and we're sweeping the board tomorrow, and we're starting it off with this Boston Red Sox at Minnesota Twins game. This game will be pretty electric for me to watch because both of these teams might end up in the AL playoffs. But Boston, they're just unlucky because they're in the most stacked division because they find themselves at the bottom of the AL East with a winning record. They are 37-35 on the season, 16-17 on the road. And the Twins, they find themselves as the luckiest team in baseball in the worst division in baseball because they're atop the AL Central with a 500 record. They're 36-36, but they're 21-17 at home. And Boston, they're throwing out a guy with a great name in Cutter Crawford. And yes, he has a great name, but he has not been overly good for Boston this season in his 14 games. He's turned that to a 1-3 record with a 4.2 ERA. In Minnesota, they're throwing out all reliable Bailey Ober here. And Ober, he's only pitched in 10 games for Minnesota this season, and he's turned that to a 4-3 record with a 2.65 ERA. So you have to give Minnesota the pitching edge here. And because of that reason, and with them being the home team, I'm just going to take the Twins on the money line at minus 136. And I believe that Ober can hold down this Boston offense and cap off this money line bet for us. So let's go Twins.
Yeah, Trey, for my play today, I'm going to be looking at the Chicago Cubs going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Luckily for the Pittsburgh Pirates, they will be at home in this game because in the news the other day, their bus driver was arrested for a DUI while driving the team to and from the Brewers game. They won't have to worry about that. And while they might not have to worry about that, they will have to worry about getting some hits in this game going up against the Cubs. I'm taking the Chicago Cubs here, minus 130 on the money line, as they will have Marcus Stroman on the mound, who has been electric over the last several months of baseball. In Marcus Stroman's last 10 starts, he has allowed 2 runs or less in 9 out of 10 games. He has also pitched 6+ innings in 9 out of 10 starts as well, so he is going deep in these games and is keeping runs to a minimal going up against these opponents. He just faced off against the Pirates in his last start, going 6 innings, giving up just 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and he will be looking for the same sort of game in this one. And the Chicago Cubs will give him some run support going up against Johan Oviedo. Oviedo has been getting into some trouble as of late, giving up 12 earned runs over his last 27 innings pitched. In his last start, which was against the Chicago Cubs, he gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs, working 4 innings in that game. And I would love to see that same kind of performance by him in this one, as I will be taking the Cubs on the money line with Marcus Stroman leading the charge. Cubs on the money line will be my play for tomorrow. Trey, let's get into these player props from yesterday. Start us off.
Yes, I went 2-0 yesterday. I gave out Dansby Swanson over 7.5 fantasy score versus the Pirates, and Merrill Kelly under 2.5 earned runs allowed versus the Brewers. And we cashed both of these bets. And Swanson, he went 2 for 5 in this game, and with 2 singles and a RBI. And it was pretty sweaty because it came down to the top of the 9th in his last at bat, and he got a single there, cashing the over for us. So that felt great. And Kelly, he pitched a gem of a game. I was sweating for most of it because it only takes 1 home run to hit the over. And thankfully, the Diamondbacks just pulled him out of the game, and he pitched an absolute gem of a game. He pitched 7 innings here and struck out 7 batters. But for us, more importantly, he only allowed 1 run on 3 hits. So we went 2-0 yesterday, looking to continue today.
Yeah, Trey, I went 0-3 on the day, and I just now figured it out why I went 0-3. I bet the Royals on all 3 of my picks. They're the worst team in baseball, idiot. What are you doing? I had Jordan Lyles under 2.5 earned runs, and I also had Salvador Perez over 1.5 bases. The Royals organization needs to implode, not explode. I'm not a terrorist, nor would I ever wish that on an organization would blow up. I'm just saying they need to clean house because what they have right now is not going to cut it. This team makes you feel like you're not even a person. They turn you into something you're not. And every time they take the field, you know that they're going to come up with some way to burn you from the inside out. Today against the Detroit Tigers, Jordan Lyles, he had himself a flawless game. He pitched 6 innings of great baseball, and that is when the Royals management should have pulled him from the game. Instead, they let this guy who was 0-11 and is known to give up several earned runs after he's gone through the batting order twice. They let him take the mound again in the bottom of the 7th inning. That led to a walk, led to a double, which they decided to pull him from the game after that, bringing in someone off the street from their bullpen to give up 5 earned runs in the 7th inning. If that wasn't enough, Salvador Perez did get a single in the top of the 8th. He probably wouldn't have got back up, but he was pulled for a pinch runner, which never found his way home. So to be a Royals fan, you have to be able to deal with this heartbreak, deal with this pain. Today marks the last time, though, Trey. I will be betting on the Kansas City Royals on any game, playoffs, regular season, doesn't matter. May God have mercy on that organization's soul. Let's get into our picks for today. I'm feeling muy caliente about these picks today, not only because my picks are fire, but because I am very heated. My body temperature is 110 degrees right now. Let's look at our plays. Trey, start us off.
Yes, and that was a great promo, but I'm going to give out Elly de la Cruz over 8.5 fantasy score versus the Rockies. And I gave out this prop a lot in his first week of the season, and I stopped at the perfect time because he has cooled off slightly after his hot start, but he's still having a great first month in the major leagues. We are recording before his game yesterday ended, but he's already having a great game already. But in the 11 games before that, he is batting .273 with 12 hits, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. Not to mention his 6 walks and 6 stolen bases. If he steals a base in this game, we are 1,000% cashing the over here because he's just getting too great of a matchup here versus the Rockies and Kyle Freeland. Freeland, he's been great when pitching at Coors Field, which is weird to say, but he is actually pretty brutal whenever he's pitching on the road. He's pitched in 7 road games this season, and he's turned that to a 1-6 record with a 5.92 ERA. And Freeland, he allows a ton of base runners, and he gets lit up along the way. So give me that to continue here against the Cincinnati Reds and De La Cruz in this game. So give me Elly de la Cruz to go over 8.5 fantasy score versus the Rockies.
Trey, is De La Cruz the fastest player you've ever seen?
Dude, I saw him beat out that shot that he had to first base, and that was insane. And he didn't even look like, I mean, he was running fast, but he didn't even look like he was like sprinting there.
He was floating. It was insane.
It's insane. Yeah. I love him.
He's the fastest player we've ever seen. So good for him, making baseball fun again. For my batting prop tonight, I'm going to take Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases going up against the Oakland Athletics. He is getting the matchup of a lifetime going up against Luis Medina, who will probably only be in this game for 4 innings because he gets torched every time he steps on the mound. Over his last 3 starts, he's given up 12 earned runs and 17 hits, working just 11 2/3 innings. If Jose Ramirez does not get at least a double off Medina, that will not be a problem because then he will probably go up against Ken Waldichuk, who was my favorite pitcher to bet against when he was in the starting rotation. He is now coming out of the bullpen, so regardless of who we get in this game, Jose Ramirez is going to have a lot of chances to get on base. Ramirez is hitting .285 on the season and has recorded at least 1 hit in 9 of his last 10 games, having multiple hits in 6 of those 10 games. He is still on fire, being one of the best hitters in the MLB, so I will be taking the Cleveland Guardians' best hitter, Jose Ramirez, over 1.5 bases against the Oakland Athletics as my first play tomorrow. Trey?
I love it how we went from probably the fastest player to the slowest player. But I'm going to go to Bailey Ober here, under 2.5 earned runs allowed versus the Red Sox. Ober, he's been lights out as a back-end starter for Minnesota this season. He's pitched in 10 games for them and turned that to a 4-3 record with a 2.65 ERA. And Ober, he's hit the under 2.5 earned runs allowed in 7 of his 10 starts. And he is still consistent whenever he's pitching at home in his 7 starts. And Ober is 2-2 with a 2.97 ERA whenever he's pitching at home. And yes, this is a risky play because he is going up against this Boston Red Sox team that can pour on runs pretty quickly. And they are ranked as the 8th highest scoring offense in the first 5 innings, where they average 2.82 runs per game in the first 5. And with Ober on the mount here, I expect him to keep this Boston team below their average and keep them below or at 2 earned runs in this game. So give me Bailey Ober to go under 2.5 earned runs allowed versus the Red Sox.
Yeah, Trey, I love it for my pitching prop tonight. I've already talked about him. It's going to be Marcus Stroman over 17.5 outs pitched against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I feel like I've said this a lot about Marcus Stroman this year, but this stat is still amazing to me. This season, Marcus Stroman has appeared in 15 games. In those 15 games, he has reached the 6th inning mark in 13 of those 15 games. That is significant because if he does reach the 6th inning mark, he will have 18 outs in the game and he will cash this bet for us. In his last start, he did pitch against the Pittsburgh Pirates, going exactly 6 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs. Every time I watch the Cubs play and Marcus Stroman is on the mound, no matter what he is at, his pitch count that is, it seems like every time he gets to the 6th inning mark, they automatically pull him from the game. There have been multiple times this season where he was at 80 pitches on the pitch count, and they decided to pull him, which is probably smart managing for the Chicago Cubs. The Royals could take some notes from that playbook. I do think it does keep him out of trouble in a lot of his starts, so I will continue to take Marcus Stroman until the books make his over more than 6 innings. Marcus Stroman over 17.5 outs will be my last play of the night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our MLB player props and games picks for Tuesday, June 20th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our locks of the week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. Check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.